Hello my good friends, Buck Small Engine DIY on YouTube, and I'm coming at you today with an interesting project. You know what you're looking at? I know it's kind of in pieces. I've got two of these machines. Here's one standing here by this post, and I've got another one here on the table, and they're all in different states of repair and assembly. But do you know what you're looking at? I'm already well into this particular project, but I wanted to turn on the camera because I thought it might be of interest or usefulness to someone. This is a Rhino Multi-Pro Post Driver. This is used to drive posts, that's just like for a fence, into the ground. And it's featuring a Honda engine, a GX35. That's a 4-stroke engine. It's not the 2-cycle, it's a 4-stroke little Honda engine. This one has it too. And these belong to a company that rents fences, and this is the only power tool really that they use, these post drivers. So they rely on these quite heavily. Let's see if I can give you some more of the info. This is made by the Rhino company. Can you read that in there? And this is the Multi-Pro. And I don't know all the information about it. It can drive posts up to like 3 inches in diameter. The fences that the company rents that own these, they use it like a 2-inch max post that they drive in for their temporary fencing. And we got to get these two of them, if we can, back up and running. They've got a total of 4. One of them, so I got 2 of them, so they're only working at 50% right now. So we got to get these up and running. Basically, it's a centrifugal hammer, and this is the hammer mechanism here. Yeah, you put that on top of the post, and it's kind of a heavy tool, really. It is, but it'll use that centrifugal force to make a hammer to just pound that post right into the ground. So pretty cool. Let's see if we can get them back in service. This one against the post I had worked on previously and repaired for them, but it's back. And an interesting thing has happened. There's a plastic component, which if you look it up on the parts list, calls it a shroud, but it's more like an intake manifold, and it's plastic. And it's just broken into 10 or 12 pieces. So it was, the thing wasn't working at all. It's kind of like an intake manifold. Well, I went on one of the online parts vendors, maybe it was Parts Tree, I don't remember. And the part, that part was listed for $134.99. I didn't buy it. Instead, I went to Amazon, found an aftermarket one for, believe it or not, $9. Yes, I'm not paying $134.99 because the original equipment broke into pieces. So why not give the $9 aftermarket a try as well? So that's how it is, kind of like an intake manifold. And it's going to go up here like that. And so now that I got this piece, we can put it back together, get this engine all back together, because I had to take it apart quite a bit. Gas tank, carburetor, cover, recoil starter, intake, air filter, all that stuff. So we're going to try to get this back up and running. So you got to take the bolts out of this one, because we got to reuse them. Because on these bolts hangs the carburetor and the air cleaner assembly. Oops. Like that. So I got to get the other one. O-ring around there. So that slides in. And then it looks like we got 1, 2, 3 screws. It's been a while since I had taken this apart. Don't remember if I'm doing it exactly right, but we'll figure it out. And they have a hex Allen key head, 4mm. I'm going to snug them down without tightening them too much because, you know what, again, it's plastic. So I think next I want to try to put the gas tank on. And then I have to at the same time put the recoil on because that sort of holds the gas tank in at the front. So, and since our carburetor's still connected, I probably should slide the carburetor. Alright, this is the gasket I'm looking for. I think that's it. Alright, I slid the carburetor on in the gasket. I temporarily put these nuts here on so just so I don't lose those posts. And we're going to try to slide this tank in. Decided to make my life easier and go ahead and drain the gas out of the tank. Alright, that's fine. And then the recoil will slide on there. And I've got a couple of different bolt sizes and I don't know which one I need where. That looks like it's going to be too long. I may have to, again, it's been so long since I took it apart. I don't remember what was where. Alright, so I do see this piece goes under here, so then the longer screws would make sense. You know? This bottom bracket. It's really just like working a jigsaw puzzle, you know. All right, let's see if we can connect this throttle cable. Like so. That's pretty good. And I'll tighten this jam nut here at the back, 10 millimeter. All right. And then our throttle control is down here, but this doesn't seem to be working too well. It's not pulling it hard enough. Need to be able to pull it all the way out. I don't know if the problem is up there or if it's this mechanism down here. All right. See, this is our throttle trigger. It's working, but it's not pulling it enough. It's got to be able to pull it all the way to full throttle. So let me look at that a little bit more. All right, I'm getting a little better throttle action now, I think. Not perfect, but a little better, so we'll try that. This guy goes on next. O-ring here, I think. Put it in there. Then I'll have to take this screw out and replace it with a longer one that goes through here and there. So it's just the nature of this jigsaw puzzle. Let's carefully take off these nuts. Alright, I got the air cleaner assembly bolted up. Everything's good here, wonderful. I'm missing some kind of breather tube that comes from here, the top of the valve cover, and connects to the back of the air cleaner assembly, going through that hole in the gasket. It's probably no big deal, but I'm going to see if I can steal it off of the other machine, because the company that uses these called me and they're trying to get one. They said they have a job with the PGA Tour. I don't really know, but they were hoping to get this back as soon as possible. So I may at least try to get one of these back running for them by the end of the day. So that's what I said I would try to do. So I'm going to steal that tube from the other machine. This guy. See if we can get him on there. Air cleaner, valve cover. That's nice. That's good. We can work with that. And then this cover is next. And it's just held on, I think, with one screw that goes down through the top. Let's see. That looks about right. That guy. All right. So, unless I'm mistaken, this thing should be ready to run. I'm going to add some fuel. I already checked the oil. It was overfilled and this thing was leaking from somewhere. I think it was because it was overfilled. We may have some smoke when it starts up, but we'll see. And then might have to figure out how to get that throttle working better, but let's get some fuel in here and see what we get. Alright, give this a try. Kill switch in the run position, very good. Primer. And yeah, I knew it was slow. Oh, do I have the choke on? Alright, I'm going to take it outside because I don't burn all that. There was oil dripping off the muffler and it was overfilled with oil, transported on its side, like obviously how else you transport these things except by laying them down. So I think there's some oil in that muffler that's going to burn off. But I don't want to asphyxiate here inside the shop. But it's working. I think the throttle control might be all right, although I don't think it's going up to full throttle. I'll have to work on that. Well, I've run it here outside for about 10 or 15 minutes, and it runs really nice. I don't feel like I need to do anything with the throttle. It idles up pretty good. It was smoking for a while, but it's not now, so I think we've burned off the oil that had made its way into the muffler. So that's pretty good. I even tried it out with a stake over there, hammering it into the ground. Pretty amazing machine, really. So that's good. I might take that muffler off just to make sure it's not still filled with oil, but I think it's burned off pretty good. The last thing I want to do on this first unit is tighten up some of these. You know, it's a lot of vibration and these things come loose. Just tighten up some of these unions if I can. This guy here. Yeah, it's using a 6mm wrench. Get some sealant on there and kind of lock it in place better. You can see what I'm doing. Kind of like that. Now maybe this one will. Well, I think that's it today on the Rhino Multi-Tool Post Driver. I've got another one in there in lots of different pieces that I got to sort through. So that's next, but I feel confident that this one is ready to give back to the customer so they can install their fences. And I thank you for watching. Your comments and questions, always appreciated. Remember guys, only you can put the do in the do-it-yourself. I'll see you next time. Nice, nice. Yeah, that's real nice.